And good morning again. Looks like the internet over here is really bad and there's no really good phone connection, so I apologize for that, but I'll reiterate what I talked about. The one thing I wanted to talk about this morning before I start our day is the pleasure and pain principle and how exactly that works. So we may get cut off over here, but maybe tomorrow we'll have better reception. Going back to this, we as humans are conditioned with the pleasure and pain principle. We seek what is pleasurable and we avoid what gives us pain. Even a masochist, it works that way because obviously pain gives them pleasure. But going back to the topic here, in the last few months I've been talking about some of the things I've been going through in terms of having to adjust where I am and having to move forward. And how do I move forward when some of the things that I love to do have been taken away or have to be put on the side till I'm back to where I am. And that goes on for everything that we do, right? We love to do certain things, but sometimes it's just not going to happen. In this kind of conditioning, one of the things I always look for is, and to remind myself, is consequences. What are the consequences of your action? Because not everything that is pleasurable is good for you. We all know that. When we talk about certain cultures or certain laws, I want to do this, but it's against the law. I want to do this for my culture, but it's frowned upon. Or even physically, if you want to get high on drugs or certain things, and then you look at what it does, unlawful, or what does it do to the body, So there are all these things that we as humans have to struggle every day to try to find the right way to be able to handle this. I always go with this one principle that I remind myself. What are the consequences of your action? Be guided by that. Because by looking at the consequences, it puts me back into perspective. I'm once again going, you're right, I shouldn't be doing that, or I have to be more patient. Patience is a virtue, but it's always the mind that messes with you, because physically, your physical body's going to trick the mind to saying, you know what, we could get away with this. Or maybe if we do a little bit of this, it won't be so bad. That's the body tricking the mind to start to induce certain actions that are not good for us. But when you stop and put, again, that filter that says, yeah, cool, let's go back to where we were. Remember the past? What are the consequences of these actions? You have to be patient. Make this the pleasure principle of always catching yourself and saying, yeah, but what's the consequence? I really want to do that, but what are the consequences? Then revert it. We as humans like to distract. We like to look at other things. So distract yourself. If this always keeps going over here, distract it by bringing something else that says, hey, instead, why not do this action that guarantees a consequence that is positive and good for you? Distract yourself and say, I want so much to be able to do that, but look, there are other things in life that you can focus on and do that instead, because you know that this is a positive experience. Sometimes get away from all your own problems and all your own internal struggles by doing something for others, because you know that's positive. Focus on other people and you get away from yourself, and the positiveness of that will come back in and you're reminded, because now you're no longer worried about the consequences of this bad action. You're now focused on the good consequences of this action over here. So we all have to be patient with ourselves. We have virtues to develop, and it's always a struggle for a lot of us. But you know what? Never give up. There are ways around everything. Always a workaround about everything, and keep it positive. Keep it good. Simple thought for the day. Marcaida out here. And for all of you who are going through some stuff, my prayers and positive. Some messages got in that were very distracting and sad, and you got my prayers for you guys and positive thoughts to you. Try to make a cup of joe, get my day started. The consequence of this is it tastes good. I'm awake now. Tastes good. Let's start and go out and do some positive things today. Take care, folks.
It's you. Team Travis. Team Robbie is